Bart Baker. For most of you, that name means absolutely nothing, and honestly, I don't blame you. I didn't remember him either, but what if I should have cast your mind back to like 2014, back when YouTube was still growing out of its status as a lawless wasteland? Do you remember these? This is what we're going to be talking about today. For anyone who's still lost, Bart Baker was a huge YouTuber that made video parodies, and when I say huge, I mean huge. Bart, by the height of his career, had amassed over 10 million subscribers and had videos consistently reaching at least 50 million views apiece. Everyone who was online at the time had at least seen one of his videos. If I had to guess, you probably caught the Anaconda or the Dark Horse one. Long story short, I was going on an old YouTube binge with my roommate and my girlfriend when we came upon his videos again, and I can't stop thinking about it. I can't stop thinking about how absolutely buns it is, and I honestly don't really get how it even got popular back then. As of now, his channel's by all means dead. I mean, fuck dude, he still has a link to his Vine. So what do you do when you want to understand an interesting critter after it croaks? You dissect it, and that's what we're gonna be doing today. Before we get into like the normal silly stuff, I want to talk about something to you guys. This won't take long. Starting now, and in every video I upload until there's a ceasefire in Gaza, I'm gonna be highlighting a GoFundMe for a family that's trying to evacuate. This is Muhammad and his family. All 8 of them have been living together in a tent at a displacement camp. They've lost everything, and like so many others, live in constant fear for their lives. They set a goal to raise $75,000 so they can get everyone out of Gaza, and they've already raised an incredible $50,000. They're so close, and we could be the difference. If you can donate, please, I'm urging you to. $1. I'm asking you to donate $1. Just one can make a difference, and if all of us give a little, we can make a whole lot of change. Thank you, and remember, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Let's get back to the normal stuff. While I was doing my research for this video, I saw a couple of videos about Bart in my recommended feed. Those videos were sort of analyzing Bart as a person and kind of chronicling his downfall, and that's not what this video is. I just want to put a spotlight on his content itself because it is unsurprisingly rancid, but it tells a story that's just as interesting. First, let's look at his return video so that anyone who's still unfamiliar with him can get some context. If you already know who he is or you want to skip to me just ragging on this guy's weird ass videos, you can either use the chapters to skip forward or you can go to this timestamp specifically. This video was posted 2 years ago, but despite that, it feels very old YouTube. I'll show you a clip so you get an idea of what I'm saying.
Videos, like a parody every once in a while, like how do you say that? Maybe like 3 or 4 a year, but they're big ones.
In this video, Bart explains that he moved to Shanghai and started doing covers of songs in Chinese on Douyin. It's the Chinese equivalent of TikTok, by the way. He says he planned on coming back to YouTube, but we only got one more video, and it wasn't even a parody. But here we see him almost how he is normally. I say almost because he has a really strong filter on his face, and you can tell because the screen behind him is distorting as his head moves. But other than that, this is just him talking to the camera. No crazy edits, no ridiculous production value, nothing. But I'm really glad I brought up that video because even to his core audience, he seems kind of off. In this video, he seems to be a little manic. His mood kind of flips back and forth from being excited to return and seeming down because he doesn't think anyone will care about him anymore. But reading through some of the comments, it's pretty clear that people did, and some still do, care about him. They were worried about him and excited to hear more from him, but then he dropped Polydoge and disappeared again. Like, look at some of these comments. If anyone cares, dude, you raised me on fucking top tier parodies and made me laugh. Please start your parodies back up. We need them. I literally listen to them almost every day. This is truly one of the most ambitious comebacks in the history of YouTube. Bart Baker's return is such a miracle.
Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo!
At the end of it all, he disappeared again, and we really haven't heard shit from him since. But enough about all that. I want to get into the nitty gritty and talk about his parodies. I don't think they're very good. I think it only makes sense to start talking about his parodies with this first one that did really, really well. His parody of Taylor Swift's I Knew You Were Trouble. Don't get it twisted. I am a lifelong Taylor Swift hater. I think that a lot of her music is bland, her lyrics aren't anything special, and she's way too famous for how average her music is. On the bright side, I know she writes her own music because there's no way she's stupid enough to pay someone to write that whack-ass line about the 1830s. And honestly, I can't imagine she's a very pleasant person to hang out with either, but that's just me being a hater. But you see how I have multiple reasons to not really be a fan? Bart Baker has 10 whole-ass music videos dedicated to him shitting on Taylor, and I've already presented more reasons to dislike her in this script than Bart did in his entire series. Let's go through that series. Starting with I Knew You Were Trouble, Bart kind of just jabs at the fact that her music is about her breakups, but the video goes off the rails really quickly. First things first, Bart makes sure that we get that she's crazy.
Once upon a time, before I was insane.
This is the first line, by the way. We see her with Joe Jonas, but they break up and Taylor's gonna write a song about it. Then we see her with John Mayer, but they break up and Taylor's gonna write a song about it. In case it wasn't obvious, she's writing songs about them because she's crazy. Then we see her with Jake Gyllenhaal, which I spelled correctly without having to look up, by the way, but they break up and Taylor's gonna write a song about it. Then she's dating Tim, but then they break up, so Taylor's gonna write a song about him. Then, and 5 points if you guess what comes next, she's dating Harry Styles, but they break up and she's gonna write a song about it. Taylor then uses her quote stalker app to track all of the exes down to the support group, where she threatens to kill all of them with a giant pen. In response, they all pull out crosses and start chanting devil, to which she goes, "Yep, it's true, I'm actually Satan."
It's true, I'm the devil.
Then a group of psychiatrists show up out of the blue and go, "All right, we've seen enough. She's crazy. Take her ass to the asylum." Because this entire thing was a trap to lure Taylor here because she's crazy. So I have some notes. Looking through the lyrics, this entire song boils down to like technically three things. 1, Taylor Swift is crazy. 2, she writes songs about her exes. And 3, she's the devil, which I feel like it's the same thing as saying that she's crazy, but like she is literally canonically the devil in this, so it's also kind of a second thing. That's it? You went through the entire trouble of writing, recording, producing, editing, and publishing this parody, and you said 3 whole things? It's not even like one of them was a larger point or anything like that. He's literally just saying these 3 things over and over. That's seriously all you got? This video has 121 million views, by the way. Just another weird point while I'm at it, during the support group scene, Harry and Taylor have this exchange.
I have not written about Harry yet. I am just planning ahead. Why?
But you know what's crazy? This song is about Harry. Bart, dude, you uploaded this to YouTube. Could you not do a cursory Google search asking who the song was about? This came out like 2 months after the actual song did. Wouldn't that be her most recent ex anyway? For the record, I don't think I'm overthinking this yet because this is what came to mind on a first watch. If you want to see me overthink something, Bart makes the joke that one of the guys Taylor dated looked really, really young. It's pretty clear that this is supposed to be Connor Kennedy. To be fair, she dated him when he was 18 and she was 22. Still kind of creepy, but more legal right now. Bart, you could have just made this character Taylor Lautner. They dated when he was 17 and she was 19. So now the joke would be correct, and you can also shit on Twilight if you want to add in a whopping 4th thing to say. The 22 video starts with her breaking out of the asylum, so I'm certain you can already guess what this song's gonna be about. By the way, while I was watching these, I kind of gave each joke a 2-song limit before I started playing a buzzer noise in my head instead of taking a note, because I just couldn't be fucked to write the same thing 40 times. So in this one, Taylor's kidnapping her exes and torturing them because she's crazy.
Why are you dancing like that? Because I'm a psychopath. Now it's your turn to dance.
Later on, Taylor actually is the devil, and she drops her phone. So Jake Gyllenhaal grabs it and texts Jesus Christ to come save them, which he does.
Hey, hey, drop the weapon, Miss Swift. OMG, it's Jesus.
His ass is not moist critical. So Jesus uses the Force or the Holy Spirit or whatever to stop Taylor and throw a holy water balloon at her, killing her. Now I want you to ask yourself, after all of that, what would Jesus do?
Well, my children, that's a wrap on that crazy bitch. Who wants to go to the strip club? Lap dances on me?
I don't think I need to point out that this has nothing to do with the original song, by the way, or even the music video. He's just calling her crazy and the devil again. The Shake It Off parody starts out on a better foot. The music video actually matches what Taylor's was doing. Plus, instead of calling her crazy or the devil, he calls her greedy. He continues with calling her attention-seeking until the 27-second mark.
Cause I am insane.
Dude, you were so close. You almost made it 30 whole seconds without calling her crazy. What a shame. The entire second verse is him saying all of her songs is about her exes again. On the bright side though, he does bring in a new point of calling her music bland. Congrats, buddy, you got one. Just after we celebrate though, he makes her the devil again. Oh hey, it's God. I could do a recap of the entire Taylor Swift series here, but I think you get the point. So instead, we're gonna do a lightning round. In Blank Space, the joke is that she's dating a minor and also that she's the devil. I didn't even really get why he's doing the minor joke here, since this song is about Taylor herself. Also, why with not Timothée Chalamet instead of Taylor Lautner, who she did date when he was a minor? In Style, he calls the music video pretentious, and then she's the devil again. The Bad Build video has really good production quality for the most part, and the jokes here are that Taylor's crazy, and she's mad at Katie because she doesn't have a boyfriend to write about right now, and also that she's on her period. This is easily the most memorable. Wildest Dreams is an ex-boyfriend joke, crazy Taylor Swift joke, and it's all the dream at the end of the day, so whatever. In This Is What You Came For, Taylor eats Calvin Harris's soul? Oh, okay, it's cause she's the devil. And finally, in the Look What You Made Me Do video, she's crazy, she's Satan, and she's on her period, which I think only happened once before, but I'm counting it anyway. My notes for each song just kept getting shorter and shorter because the same thing happens in all of them. And I'm not gonna write the same thing. I'm not gonna write the same thing over and over. I'm just not gonna do it. I don't wanna do it. Adding up the run times for all these songs gives you a total length of 41 minutes. And in all of that time, he said 4 or 5 whole things. Honestly, it's kind of impressive in its own right. I don't like that I had to open with the Taylor Swift saga here, but I really needed to hammer home the point that these videos are, above all else, shallow, repetitive, and not even really funny in the first place. The Anaconda one is the one that frustrated me enough to consider making this video in the first place. But before I shit all over this, let me just say, the production quality is weirdly good. Bart has a couple points about Anaconda, but they're all sort of ass? Segue, that's what he thinks the song is about. Ass.
Song is all about butts. These girls all have big butts. This video is pretty much just a bunch of big butts.
Clearly. Now, I don't know if you guys know the lyrics to Anaconda, but my girlfriend does. And it's surprisingly not about ass. The song is about Nikki being promiscuous and all the guys that she's hanging out with. Besides the stuff on the hook, which is just a sample from Baby Got Back, there are 2 lines about butts. So we made it 1 line in, and I'd say he's fundamentally misunderstood the song he's making fun of. Also, in the same way that he called Taylor insane for 45 minutes, he just calls Nikki stupid or says that she got plastic surgery. And that's it, that's the joke. He goes on to say the song is a ripoff of Baby Got Back by Sir Mix-a-Lot, who makes a special appearance with his giant anaconda, by the way. But that's the sample? Did we not know what sampling was in 2014?
You ripped off. Baby got back. I'm pissed off. Turned it to trash.
I don't even really understand what his angle with this comparison even is. How do you complain that this song is all about butts, which it isn't, and then praise Baby Got Back, which is literally Sir Mix-a-Lot saying that he likes big asses for 4 minutes. In the music video, he's standing on a butt. He's standing on a butt. It just blows my mind that someone can go through this much effort just to miss the point entirely. There's a recurring gag in almost all these videos, and the whole joke of it is a third party showing up and getting a verse. I think Bart thinks it's funny. I didn't laugh, personally, but humor's subjective, so I can't really knock him on that. What I can do is go through a list of them. Chris Hansen shows up in the Fifi parody, Jesus shows up in 22, God and Shake It Off, and the Pope in Blank Space. That last one's followed by Lord. All of One Direction shows up in the Style video. Like I said, Sir Mix-a-Lot and his giant anaconda show up in Anaconda. Jax Films is in multiple of these. I'll talk about the one in Uptown Funk a little later, but he's also in the Wiggle video. That Wiggle video is wild, by the way, because after Jax Films shows up, Chris Brown comes in, and then so do the Wiggles, played by Logan Paul, Markiplier, and 2 minors, I think. I remember them not being very funny, but that's all I remember. Doctors show up in the Finesse video and lobotomize Bruno Mars to turn him into a mumble rapper. Soulja Boy shows up in the Watch Me Whip video, and then Silent Toad's revealed to be Jared from Subway. Santa shows up in the Rockstar parody, a Prozac attorney, and actual Joan Rivers are in the Happy video. The DEA arrests Lil Pump and Gucci Gang. Not actual Macklemore shows up in the Thrift Shop video, but fuck, I'd be lying if I said I didn't think this was really him for a second. And finally, in the Work video, a group of stereotypical immigrant blue-collar workers, Miley Cyrus, Donald Trump, and Deadpool show up. Sorry, I forgot to mention that Steve-O's in the Hotline Bling video. Oh, stop! No one asked you to do that! Trust me, I have so many more examples. I mean, who could have guessed, right? I wish this wasn't a point I had to make, but it happens so often. It's so weird. Ugh. Remember how I said I was gonna mention Jax Films in the Uptown Funk video again? This is where I'm mentioning it. So in the Uptown Funk video, Bart Baker plays Bruno Mars, which is fine-ish, but Bart Baker's white. Yeah, those don't match. I get it though. Sometimes you just want to play the main person in the thing you're making. 9 times out of 10, he'll play his female leads too, so this is probably just standard practice for his crew. It gets a little weird though when Jax Films, playing Mark Ronson, wants to dance with Bruno and the others. Guess why they don't let him? Seriously, write your guess in the comments, please. Go ahead, I'll give you a second, go ahead, I'll give you a second. Okay, you got it? No changing your answer. I'm being so serious. You can't change your answer.
Why one dance like a clown? Why? Because I'm not brown. Hey, don't ever melt down.
Okay. The song continues and one of the background dancers asks Bruno if he's Michael Jackson's son, to which Jax Film says it isn't possible because they're different colors? Bart Baker's ass does not know what a Punnett square is. Of course, we need a third party to show up, so who else but the king of pop, baby? Michael Jackson says that Bruno is his son, but it turns out he's pointing at Jax Films.
Yes! That means I'm black! I can dance! In your face, guys!
So, just to clarify, Bruno Mars, a Puerto Rican man who's being played by a white man, tells Jax Films, a white man, that he can't dance for them because he's white. Then, Michael Jackson shows up and says that he's his son. So now, Bruno Mars, a Puerto Rican man being played by a white man, is also black. Then, it's revealed that Michael Jackson was, in fact, not pointing at Bruno Mars, a Puerto Rican man who is definitely not black, but is still being played by a white man, but was pointing at Jax Films, who was secretly black this whole time. Bart Baker wrote all of this.
I don't know, man. Something about that feels a little weird.
Since I already knew we were going to talk about Bart Baker playing someone who isn't white instead of simply casting someone else to play the part, I have another list. Drake at least twice. Once in Started From the Bottom and once in the goddamn Anaconda video. In case you didn't know, Drake is at least a little bit black. Like I said, Bruno Mars is Puerto Rican. He plays Tekashi 6ix9ine, who's also Puerto Rican. He plays The Weeknd multiple times. That man is definitely light-skinned. And he plays Psy in his parody of Gangnam Style. This one in particular feels really, really gross.
This song makes no freaking sense, does it? I'm on the toilet. I just took a shit.
While I'm on the topic of race, King Batch is in, like, several of these. And I'm pretty sure anyone who recognizes that name knows what kind of humor he comes with. Also, while I'm at it, the way they portrayed Gucci Mane in the Black Beatles video is crazy.
I
don't really know if I have a larger point here, except that this is just odd. I feel like it could be avoided so easily, especially because he casts people in these races all the time. It isn't even like he's worried they'll fuck up in the recording booth or anything like that either. He sings most of the parts. It really is just odd. I can't explain it. Bart Baker's old videos are something else, man. Like, I would really suggest staying away from them, with the exception of 2. The California Girls parody and the Motto parody. Yes, I'm being serious. The California Girls one is just these old ass guys playing the California Girls music video completely straight, and they don't break character. There really isn't even much to it. They're just old guys. But I mean, you know what? It works. It works. It's simple. It's pretty funny on a first watch. I like hearing the old guy go, I'm a simple man. I'm a simple man. What can I say? The modern one has a pretty wild name, White Negro. I really hope that Bart had a person of color in the room when he wrote that one, or else I'm also gonna file this under like the weird race shit we talked about a minute ago. The song is about this guy putting on white makeup so he can get away with crimes in front of the police.
No matter what I do, I don't get in trouble, dude. Dealing crack or pissing on a cop's roof.
Oh, that fucking soundbite. It's the same soundbite every time. Just like the California Girls parody, this one has a simple concept and solid execution, and both of them are decently written for what they are. They're at least written better than the Taylor Swift stuff. Other than that, all the old ones are bad, boring, or offensive, so, I mean, you know, do with that what you will. As I'm sure you know by now, I really struggle when it comes to writing the endings of these videos. And nowhere has that been more true than with this one. After watching practically all of his parodies, I still don't understand how they got popular in the first place. I don't know. Maybe it just isn't my cup of tea, but after having combed through them, I don't get the hype. I think that now, Bart's channel serves as a really cool little time capsule of what the internet was like back then. The standard for content has risen so much in the past 10 years, and I'd like to hope that it'll continue to rise after my time has come and gone too. But Who really knows? While I was writing this conclusion, I kept trying to figure out what was pushing me to make this video in the first place. I don't know, but something was pushing me to talk about this with you guys before I got to work on my other summer stuff. Maybe it was morbid curiosity, or maybe boredom, maybe it's me procrastinating. Call it whatever you want. I think this was just something interesting to talk about with you guys. At the end of the day, isn't that enough though? That's what this channel is, and what it always has been. If someone else wants to bend over backwards to find some meaning in all of this, I'll let them be the one to snap their spine. In the meantime, I'm gonna purge Bart Baker from my watch history so my recommended videos go back to normal. If you guys enjoyed this video, you should totally subscribe. I have more kick-ass content coming down the pipeline for you, and I'm really excited to share it with you. While you're down there, you should let me know what you think of Mr. Baker's parodies. I have a lot of thoughts, so I'm really excited to hear what you guys have to say. That's gonna be it for me today. I'm Knightley. You've been absolutely incredible, and I'll see you relatively soon. Peace. I'm gonna start doing this too. It's kind of just like a post-credit scene of me yapping, right? But at the start of the video, I said I was doing an old YouTube binge with my roommate and my girlfriend, right? So I'm pulling up classics. I'm pulling up like Asdiff. I'm pulling up Llamas with Hats, Epic Rap Battles, or whatever. And then my girlfriend goes, "Hey, do you guys remember Bart Baker?" And I'm like, "Who the hell is Bart Baker?" Right? So we go to his channel, and I recognize the Dark Horse thumbnail, and I'm like, dude, I remember this. Like, this was super viral. What? We gotta cut it on. So we turn it on, and I'm sitting there watching it in like dead silence. And then my girlfriend looks at me and she's like, "Babe, are you okay?" And I'm like, "This is ass?"